What's going on, everybody? We're here. Thursday night. We're doing a live stream. Some of you are ready for me, maybe because I made this a little bit public before we started. I hope everybody's well and doing all right. I know that there's kind of some crazy weather where some people are at. Not that that's new. It's been kind of crazy this whole entire summer. Hope everybody's well. I think we have a couple things we can talk about today. We're going to talk about Deadlywind and their Hair 45 version 2 valve. There's new Spire 5 colors. Maybe we can watch some gameplay stuff I took from last weekend. And the World Paintball Championships are taking place this weekend, just outside of France. So we'll talk about that in a little bit. Triumph CS3, what the hell is that? Hello, should I get a 170R Ukrainian pilot? Yeah, sure, they're very good paintball guns. I mean, you might as well. They're really good. Where is everybody at? I want to see if we can find anybody that's... South America would be nice. So everyone, if you're in this chat room right now, let me know where you're at. I want to see if we can find any South Americans. Maybe someone from Brazil? Brazil, maybe like Paraguay? Let's see. St. Louis? Bradley, that's a beautiful name. You've got the best name so far. Mike's in New Hampshire. Eric's in New Jersey. Let's go. Derpy Shark, that's pretty good. Shout out from Arkansas. I mean, that's close enough to Brazil, right? I mean, Arkansas and Brazil are pretty similar. You can find big booty babes there. Pennsylvania, another Pennsylvania, Chicago, North Carolina, Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. We even put the Providence in there, right? Manitoba's a province, right? Is that how they do those things up there? Something like that? I don't know. Let's take my headphones off, and I'm going to lower this music just slightly to about... that's probably about good. Brian's an actual Florida man. Okay, so what are we going to talk about? I'm going to tie my shorts so they don't fall off. You know, they fall off a lot. And, yeah, I don't know what the hell's going on. Let's see here. This is not very exciting, so let's just talk about this. These have slowly been trickling out. Some new colors of the Virtue Spire 5. It's not... the thing's flipped. It's not super exciting. They're just cool new colors. I really like how, you know why? Let's, not that that matters. They're just kind of cool. I really like how they kind of made the tray match the actual hopper. It's kind of cool how they're coming with matching speed feeds. I kind of like that. They're still $250, so they're still very expensive. And if you have a Spire 4, it's practically the exact same thing. They're just kind of neat. Where's my favorite color? That one's kind of cool. Although every time I get gray stuff, or like I think about buying gray stuff, I never really like it. Or tan, I'm sorry. Gray stuff I like. I really like that one. I think they're calling that like Surge or something like that. They just look cool. It's not something that's like super crazy fancy, because a lot of these companies or a lot of paintball stores have always done this. You know, they've always taken these hoppers apart and kind of done part swaps and stuff like that. It's just kind of neat to see some new colors or interesting colors direct from the manufacturer. New color Spires. Maybe you got a gun that could look cool with one of these. I mean, there's plenty of guns that you could make match your Virtue Spire 5. That's all. I was trying to find something to talk about. The paintball scene in the UK seems dead, or is it just me? Well, I got no idea. I couldn't tell you what's happening in the United Kingdom, because I have no idea. I'm not too up on the scene in the UK. You know, I kind of live like, you know, thousands of miles away, so it's a little bit hard. Something that is happening in Europe, though, that we're just going to watch right now, and I actually have not watched this. So taking place this weekend is the what the hell, the UPBF, the United Paintball Federation World Championships. They do it a lot, not a lot. I mean, the last few years, I don't think they've really done it, mainly because COVID kind of killed a lot of the travel over to Europe. for a lot of the Americans. So they haven't really done the, World Championship thing in a long time, but it's taking place this weekend in France. And we're going to open the live stream up, and we're going to watch the finals. I have not watched the finals yet. The finals took place earlier today against the United Kingdom. So UK and USA played for the finals. I do know the game was close. That's about all I know. I know who won, so there's that. But, let's see if I can get this goddamn monitor to turn on, and then we'll watch this. Here we go. Jesus Christ. Let's see what we're doing here. Let's pause this really quick. We're gonna turn that audio on because I want to make sure I can hear it with you guys. Let's pop that there.
The USA has very fast players, and they didn't force the game in the beginning.
So this is definitely an improvement from their previous live stream as well. Let's go back to the very start. An improvement, we'll say, from the previous live stream. I don't need 1080 60 either. I really like how they have the
British side.
Really like how they have that drone camera, just like the NXL. I mean, the National X-Ball League, the NXL is also using that drone shot, which I like.
Use short runs in the break.
Let's see if we can
because USA has very fast players. And
we're gonna let this play out. Let me.
In the beginning of the
I'm looking for something.
Games.
Losing another player there on the Dorito side for Great Britain.
That's not what I wanted to do. We're going to click that off. Sorry. I wanted to be able to try to read you guys and tell you guys who is actually on the USA men's roster. And we'll do Great Britain as well. So really, I mean, this is literally probably the best roster.
And he moved back to center back.
I can't, I'm messing with the audio. It's hard for me to talk and listen at the same time. So this is for sure, I mean, the best roster pretty much that the USA could put together. We have Kyle Berry. Kyle Berry is currently playing. Who the hell is Kyle Berry currently playing with? He is currently still with the ML Kings, kind of like I thought. We have Alex Fragi, Harrison Fry, Ryan Greenspan, all members of San Diego Dynasty, Tyler Harmon, Pat Kraft, Marcelo Margot, Yosh Rao, Colt Roberts, Chris Shear, Mike Urena, and Blake Yarber. An extremely good roster, but it's kind of all Dynasty players. I mean, we have so many Dynasty guys. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Dynasty players on this roster, which is, a lot of goddamn people. So it's kind of crazy. So this is the match for third place. We got, what do we got? Poland and France. I keep moving this stuff around, so it might be hard to watch. Yeah, and I haven't watched any of this, mainly just because of the time. It's just on at crazy times, The NXL takes place in the middle of the day. I mean, this is on at 12 p.m. at night. 12 p.m. at night. 12 a.m. I think they start at 11 p.m. my time to be able to watch this stuff. France is also a very good team. France has historically always been good. I mean, they have the Tauntauns on their team and all kinds of stuff. A lot of those Tauntaun guys were very, very good. I am. We'll put that right there. Ben Lawton, what'd you say? You said the quality of the UPBF compared to Ghost Sports streams also made me sad. Much easier to keep track of players' positions on this stream. Yeah, it might just be because they're choosing to kind of use that drone shot a little bit more than Ghost Sports are. Ghost Sports prefer those sideline cameras a little bit more. At least they have historically. They're using that drone shot a little bit more, but I think for sure having that drone shot definitely makes it considerably easier to keep track of. I also think this is the historic, like, old paintball field. If anybody's out there from, like, back in the day, this is the field that the 2002 like World X-Ball Championship happened at, or whatever, where like the debut of X-Ball happened. That stadium seating like that, I think has been there for a very, very long time. And there's been like an X-Ball or a tournament field on this spot for, you know, over 20 years. So we got like a 4-on-5 right now with the US. I mean, the one part that's bad about this camera angle, though, is you can't really tell who's who, right? It's a little bit hard to, like, I don't know who the heck's playing right now. Can't really tell. Probably someone from Dynasty, though, you know. Dynasty's got freaking half the goddamn roster. This is a great shot, though. I really do like this drone shot. I've been harping on the NXL forever about drone shots.
Two players left.
Only 2 remain. One behind mini wing in the baseline, and the other one behind the giant wing in the middle of the Doritos. And
I don't know. Should we keep watching this?
GB's still 5 alive.
Guys.
Moving into the snake now.
Yeah, he back to.
We're either gonna keep watching this, or the chat room's gonna tell me what to do, or have me answer questions or something. Talk to me in the chat room. When the chat's not on the screen, like this, no one ever uses it. If it's on the screen like that, people will talk to me. But as soon as I switch off of it, people stop using it. So keep using it.
Front player of America made a good trick and back to Dorito 1.
Dorito.
And now number 20.
And I don't know who these announcers are either. I was trying to figure that out, and I was like, I got no idea who these guys are. In the past, you know, the Millennium Series had the same announcers for a very long time, so it's kind of cool. Ben, I appreciate it. The final match of the USA versus the UK is worth the watch.
That's enough for them to put a point on the board. They knew they could rest the players. They had enough players. There was only
I also really like how we can hear like the fans in the background. I'm really a fan of I'm really a fan of that fan announcing. And Eric with a goddamn super chat. You're freaking amazing. Kick this off. Super chats are awesome, guys. I mean, it's really the only way I can, like... It's the only way I make money doing this goddamn thing. YouTube's not letting me monetize live streams, but I kind of like doing them, so we're still here. Eric, what'd you actually say? Take the Autococker out for a review this weekend. I know you're uncomfortable with cockers. Yeah, if we... I'll probably play with it this weekend, for sure. Let's find this last weekend. Eric, right there, that awesome super chatter guy, was kind enough to let me use his paintball gun. And I'm using it right here. This is Eric's free flow autococker. We've actually done an entire video on this channel. You can't even see it. This is Eric's free flow autococker right there. There was a video. Well, look at me. I'm doubled up. There is a video on this channel. I'm just so not used to it. I mean, you can kind of tell people who haven't played with autocockers before. It's certainly bulkier and just bigger, and you know, there's a lot going on. So it's definitely a little bit harder for me to handle, just because I'm so not used to it. And you can see that back block. You can see that. But I was going to move out of the way. That back block on the back of the gun moving back and forth, I'm just so not used to it. It's a little bit hard for me to use the thing. That back block kept hitting me in the freaking face. It was funny. If you want, that gameplay footage is right here on the YouTube channel, or there's a link in the description. You can go find that over there. A beautiful gun! A Natron Eagle says, I'm wanting to get my first marker. What should I get? I don't know. First paintball guns. Normally, I think people that are new to paintball, really kind of no matter how much money you have or whatever, I would get something more affordable. I think that I certainly lean toward, I don't know, it's so hard, you know, like, I think that someone said the EMEC, Brian said the EMEC in the chat. I think the EMEC is probably the best, like, value paintball gun. But then we get into stuff like, people are saying the EMEC 3, that's the ETHA 3 maybe. I think what you should do is kind of decide if you want electronic or mechanical. I think for most starters, getting something that mechanical is probably a good idea. It's way easier to work on. They're not as complicated. You have less issues. You don't have to worry about batteries. They're just a lot easier to use. So I'm always down for like people buying mechanical guns as their first guns. So I think take a look at that EMEC, maybe the ETHA 3M, or if those are a little out of your price range, the Tippmann Chronos or the Tippmann Stormers are also very, very good. And they're going to be in there at that $150 price. So they're quite a bit cheaper than that EMEC. So I'm all for telling people to get mechanical style guns. But, you know, maybe you're a little older. If you're like 40 like I am, and you're not like a little kid. See, I don't know how old you are. If you think you're mechanically inclined, you can fix stuff, you know, you're good with your hands, maybe you could go up to something electronic, because you're a little more like there logically, you know, to be able to fix the stuff. But I always think that like simpler is better, you know, like if I was starting to, I don't know, get into some sport, right? I'm probably not going to want to buy the most expensive, complicated version as my first one. That's something I did. You know, I had an autococker, like Eric's autococker that I switched off of. You know, I had an autococker, you know, like an autococker like that, you know, was my second paintball gun. And they're very complicated, and I had nothing but problems with the thing. Whereas if I, you know, maybe got an auto mag or something a little bit simpler, I probably would have had a little bit better time. Yeah. So I'm all for cheap stuff. Inexpensive mechanical paintball guns is what I think I like the most. Great Britain and France. No, Great Britain and USA. They just scored a point. It's 1-1. 2-Bit says, get an EMEC, fantastic starter marker, or go bigger for the ETHA 3M. Yeah, that's kind of what I think. But then $400 on a mechanical gun. It's just kind of a lot for like your first paintball gun, I think. You know, like $400 for a starter gun. It's kind of a lot for people. I mean, most people aren't willing or don't want to spend, you know, $700 on their first paintball gun setup. France and Poland. Eric, unfortunately, barrel mount, no. I have a mask mount. I'm like 95% sure I have another mask mount, but I do not believe. I definitely don't. Oh no! I'm not 100% sure. Do you want to borrow one? Let's just say that, and I'll look around. I might have an Inception design one. Barrel mount. Yeah, ETHA 3M's awesome. It's just like, yeah, with starter players, it's just a little bit much, I think. France and Poland.
French sides, and if I'm right, only 2 remain from Polish sides.
I'll check. I'm pretty sure I have one, Eric. Pretty sure.
Only I cannot see center back. Yes, there is 1 player, so 3 from Poland.
There's a good question. We're just going to let that audio play in the background and we'll switch over to this. Glorious16 says, USA team, a bit overkill, no? Comparing the level of the US versus Europe, do you think Europe could really have a chance against them? Yeah, for sure. I mean, we're about to see. I think that there's probably 3 teams that are standouts. It's going to be USA, France, and the UK. And I think the French team, the French guys and the UK guys can beat the USA team. You know, I don't think that like regular they would do that. You know, if they played 10 matches, you know, France or the UK could, you know, win 2. But I think the majority of the time that USA team's probably the best. What's funny though is the USA could probably field like USA team 1, 2, 3, and 4, and probably still have the best 4 teams. Just because there's so many good players. There's probably like 50 guys in the US that could play at this like international championship level or whatever. Jason says you should get a MagFed. You should get the EMF 100. I mean, they're very good. Really good. Really, really good.
Huh? He say something bad. I know few French words, but he say something bad. Okay.
I think he was unhappy about
he
shooting a player and the refs aren't seeing it or something like that.
Yeah.
So.
But I also seen that.
Someone said South Africa announcers in the chat, and I think I hear it now. I'm here in South Africa. Okay, Chris, let's just do that. This game is boring. I don't know if we're going to want to watch this game. Limited edition, the limited edition Triumph CS3. Like this? Yeah, I mean, it's green. You know, it's not too crazy. It's a British racing green, it looks like. You know, we got some silver. It's a cool color, I guess. You know. Looks like a paintball gun to me. If Russian Legion ever rebuilds, that would make it a lot more engaging. If like the Russian team, because the Russian Legion team's still pretty good. I mean, maybe if they were actual Russian, like actual Russia had a team, that would be kind of neat. I'd be alright with that. Yeah, I mean it's a cool color. I mean that like what the hell did you just call it? The Triumph. I don't know why. Normally I always see those emails. I didn't even see that one from Planet Eclipse. The Triumph CS3. You know, I just like black. I think that if I'm like forced to pick a color, I'm kind of just going with black the whole time. I mean, black's like the easiest and probably best color. It's always just the easiest to sell. You know, every time I've gotten like a crazy color gun, it is really hot in here. Every time I've gotten a crazy color gun, it's just harder to sell the thing, so I just always want black. I mean, black's just always the easiest color, right? It's just the simplest. These are kind of cool. I'm actually kind of neat. This is kind of actually a good thing, right? I mean, so many of us complain about how expensive paintball stuff is. These Hair 45 valves just came out with a version 2. The Deadlywind Hair 45 valve. So these valves are an upgraded valve for your Planet Eclipse mechanical gun. So they're making 4 different versions, I'm sorry. That EMEC one that will fit the EMF 100 and the 3M. 180R one, they just don't have it yet. 170R and a GMEC, which is odd. And these are $70. So that's $20 cheaper than they were before. These are now plastic mold injected, so it just makes it, I think, cheaper for them to manufacture these. So that's kind of cool. I mean, normally stuff just keeps going up in price, so it's just good to see something a little bit cheaper finally. They're not really probably going to be better. I mean, they claim that they have a better flow rate than the previous version, which, I mean, I guess technically might make it cycle a little bit faster and might let you get a little bit higher rate of fire, which is the same thing. So, you know, if you don't know what these are, is a replacement valve for those 8 Planet Eclipse guns, 6 Planet Eclipse guns. 6 guns, and it makes the trigger pull way shorter, and it just allows you to pull the trigger quite a bit easier. I don't know. It's not too exciting. The Hair 45 version 2 valve, I actually kind of like how they're like printed like this, or not printed, how they're injected. No, get the EMEC. Wow, I'm losing track of the. I love my Doo-Doo Brown Shocker CVO. Doo-Doo Brown's pretty cool. Gloria 16, thanks for answering. Yeah, please, because here in you're in France. I don't think that the best teams play each day or field train each day. In comparison, how often does Dynasty train? I have no idea. It depends on the players. I mean, like, how much does Dynasty train or practice? So there's probably 2 things, right? I think that training probably involves, we're going to say 3 different things. I think that, like, physical fitness, right? So just going to the gym and working out and doing sprints and, you know, being in physical shape. I think that most guys probably honestly work out every day, or 5 days a week, or 6 days a week, or something like that. And that's maybe not 6 days, you know, because they're playing paintball some of those days. So on the days they don't play paintball, they're probably working out so often. And then there's also those paintball specific skills, right? So whether they're working on drills or they're actually playing paintball, I think that you'd probably find that a lot of the pro guys, so let's say Dynasty, right? If you get like some of the newer players are probably going to practice more, right? Like say Chris Shear or Mike Urena, they're newer players playing pro for like the last 7 or 8 years, 6 years. So they're probably going to practice a lot more. Whereas you get very experienced guys, say like Yosh Rao or Alex Fragi, they're probably not playing as much. But I would bet the newer guys probably try to do drills at least 3 days a week, like dedicate full days just to shooting cones and running and shooting. And then they're probably only playing full games, I guess probably about 5 to 6 times a month. But then it depends on practices before the tournaments as well. Sometimes the teams will do 3 or 4 day practices before the events, where they'd play Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Yeah, but I would bet that the majority of the American teams practice more than the European teams. I think because there's more money, right? I think that more of the US pro teams have more money. So they just have more time and more paint because they have more money. And there's also more facilities. I mean, you got to think that like here in California, if you know you're like Dynasty or a lot of the people that live in Southern California, you have like, you know, 8 to 10 paintball fields you can go to. I mean, it might take you an hour and a half to get there because it's Southern California, but there are quite a few different paintball fields, so they probably do play quite a bit more. One of the things that I was kind of surprised by, speaking of that, I wanted to look at the French. Yeah, one of the things that I was kind of surprised at is that like most of these guys on the French team, I don't really know. Like there's a bunch of these guys that I'm not familiar with. Whereas in the past, it seemed like I knew a lot of the players, and I don't really know any of these French guys. There's a few of them. Fabrice Colombo, I know. Axel Godin, we know. And Thomas Spetsnaz. Those are the only ones I know. And, you know, in years past, it seemed like I knew the entire roster. So one thing that's kind of cool is just that French guys are actually playing really well still. And they don't have those same old guys. You know, it'd be like Team USA winning the tournament with, you know, all new players pretty much. You get rid of Ryan Greenspan, you get rid of, you know, Alex Fragi and all those old guys, and you bring in newer players, which they do have. I mean, you have Harrison Fry and who else on here? Chris Shearer, Mike Urena. They're newer players-ish, but I don't know what the hell, I'm rambling. You could probably find a better priced EMEX used, that's for sure. Definitely worth than getting a Saber due to Planet Eclipse having a great track record. Yeah, I think if you want to get a Saber, I wouldn't even do it. I'd get a Tipman. I mean, the Tipmans might not look cool, right? They're like mil-simmy and look kind of weird to some people, but they're crazy reliable, and I can assure you that they shoot better than that Saber. Most of the Tipmans shoot pretty good. I mean, the Tipman Chronos and the like Stormers, they actually are not bad. I would way rather have one of those, that's for sure. And buying used stuff, I think, is fine if we're experienced players, right? Like, most of the people that are like, buy used, you know, they know what they're looking for, right? You know that, like, oh, that's not supposed to be turned like that, or, you know, why is this all scratched up, or this is the wrong barrel, or like, you know, this gun doesn't shoot right. You know, when you're buying used, you know what you're looking for, whereas, you know, if you've never played paintball, or like you're buying your first paintball gun and it's used, I don't know, you know, you're not going to know how to fix it. You're not going to know what to look for buying stuff. So I think that, especially when we're talking about these inexpensive guns, I mean, you can buy an EMEC for cheaper, but what are you going to save, $50? You know, it's like, it's not like you're saving $1,000 or anything crazy. So I am with new people always buying new equipment. You know, because I did that. You know, we were talking earlier about my autococker that never worked. It was used. You know, I don't know what the hell I was doing. You know, now it wouldn't have any problems. I can use a cocker and fully disassemble them and time them perfect and fix everything. But when I started, I didn't know what the hell I was looking for. Walter, I bought a GMEC for $250 in semi-mint condition. Is that good? Yeah, it sounds like it. I mean, yeah. I don't even know what they'd sell for. How much was the G-Tech when it came out? Probably $550. The frames were probably like $175 or $150, $200. I don't remember. So $250 is good, yeah, for sure. Yeah. What's a good upgrade from my Ether 2 that will be noticeably different? Nothing. Yep. Let's think about like my EMEC, right? It's got the exact same bolt. And I don't think that you're going to get a gun that shoots better than those. I mean, there's some stuff that's a little different, you know, like the CS3 or, you know, a DSR. Those are going to be quieter a little bit and maybe kick less. They for sure kick less, maybe a little quieter, but it's not like dramatic. You know, you're not going to go, it's not like 3 times better, right? You know, you got to think your Ether 2 is like a third of the price of some of these high-end guns, but they're sure not 3 times better. I think the biggest advantage you get from the higher end guns is probably just ergonomics and them being a little bit more user-friendly. And they're just a little bit nicer, right? You're not going to like get better air efficiency. You're not going to like shoot brittler paint. It's not, rate of fire is the exact same. So all those major important things are the same, really, between the Ether 2, we'll say, and the CS3. It's just kind of ergonomics and simplicity, right? I mean, you get the screen when you buy a CS2, just disassembling the things a little bit easier. Yeah. It's not a lot. I mean, you know, 20 years ago, there was a huge difference between these entry-level-ish electronic guns and the high-end ones. But now, not so much, which is a good thing, really. I mean, you can buy an Ether 2 and be set, in a way. Why was the angel body style in the shape of a triangle be the top, bottom setups of other marker layouts? I don't understand the last part. Why was the angel body style in the shape of triangle be the top bottom setups of other markers? I don't know what that means. But the angel was a tube. So the angel was a 3 tube versus other triangle versus the top bottom setups. I still don't get it. I don't know which verse. I don't know which word is supposed to be versus. You know, I don't really have like a real answer for that. why was it? Because most of the paintball guns are going to be called stacked tube. So like we have the like LV2 or whatever, or the Tipman, or those, you know, that Saber we talked about. They're going to have a top tube and a bottom tube. So the top tube, you know, is where your paintballs go in, and where that bolt is kind of like psh, psh, moving. You got like a valve and some other stuff on the bottom. The Angel just kind of like mixed it together. I think one of the main reasons was probably because they wanted to have a rechargeable battery. And at the time when they first came out with those guns in 1998 or 97, maybe, I don't even know. The battery technology just wasn't really there, right? You didn't have little lithium-ion batteries. You had the big old NiCad batteries, so they were like a huge battery inside there. And I would bet that one of the main reasons they went with that like 3-tube design is to be able to get a battery in there. Because one of those tubes is literally all battery. I mean, there's nothing in there other than battery. That would be my guess. Yep. Whereas a lot of the other guns were using 9-volt batteries. You know, you got to think that like when the Angel was a thing, you had the Shocker. And then a little bit later on, you still had the Shocker. You had Intimidators, stuff like that. And those were using 9-volt batteries. Nothing was rechargeable like the Angel was. That's my theory, at least. Lux mechanical frame is pretty good as well. It's true. I really like the Lux mech frame. Plus the ease of switching from mech to electro and vice versa. Yeah, I always thought that was cool, right? But like, are you doing that? You know, like, is it something that you're doing a lot? I mean, I never. With all these guns, it's either like I'm using mechanical or I'm not. I'm not really using mechanical and then switching over to electronic. I mean, I guess maybe I would. But I just don't, you know, I just don't. How can I calm the kick of my E-mech? I'd say if you have a gun, if you have an E-mech that's kicking more than it should, I mean, those guns are so simple, you really can't do much. I mean, I would just try changing the O-rings and put fresh grease on. Because it's very possible that those O-rings are a little bit worn out and you have to use a little bit more pressure to get the gun up to the correct velocity. So I would, you know, yeah, I'd just try changing O-rings, putting grease on. Because there's not like a bunch of settings, you know, you can't like change the dwell or change the LPR or do anything. Most of those guns that I've shot shoot very similar though. So I just try to change O-rings and grease. Why do you prefer the CS3 over the LV2? I don't know if I do. I'm not really sure if I do. I don't know. I really do think that I just like the smaller body. I like the foregrip on the LV2. I really like the ergonomics of the foregrip. I really like Planet Eclipse LV2. Come on, monitor. Let's LV2 it up. Oh. Planet Eclipse LV2. Yeah, I really like the foregrips on the LV2. I mean, they're big and blocky and like, you know, square or whatever. Let's try to do that. That didn't work. Oh well. Yeah, I really like these foregrips, how like they're big and square. They're quite a bit smaller than the CS3, but I really do think that I just kind of like that smoother, smaller body style. I certainly prefer the way that the like trigger frame feels on the CS2. I really like them. But they're both really good, you know. It's kind of hard to say like one's worse or better or not. Ben Lawton, I need a new casual hat. Are the paintball ruin my hats like the one you have on, a regular old cotton denim, or are they like athletic nylon? No, it's cotton. It's cotton hat. It's kind of crazy looking in this lighting. It's really dirty. I actually went rock climbing in it, so I've got like chalk splotches. That hat you can get in the Paintball Ruined My Life store, and it is all cotton. You know what else you can get in the Paintball Ruined My Life store? You can buy some freaking headbands or barrel covers. You know, one of the ways that I like keep this channel moving along and actually justifying doing it a little bit is by super chats in the live stream and by selling this merch. You can get these headbands for $30. There's some right there. In the Paintball Ruin My Life store at pbrml.shop. Or you can, you know, there's $75. You can get a 3-pack. There are some of these barrel covers you can also get in there. There's a load of barrel covers. There should be pretty much the exact same barrel cover colors as headbands. So you can kind of get like a matching barrel cover headband combo. Barrel covers are $7. You could buy like 15 barrel covers and they ship for free. Yep. So if you ever wanted to, like, you know, think about this channel and you're like, man, I like Brad's videos, you can buy headbands or at least like this video, you know, at least like, you know, like the thing. It's very helpful when people leave comments and actually like videos. Yes, it's very helpful when people actually like videos. So you can buy headbands, pbrml.shop, or you paintballruinmylife.com. You can find them as well. Why does no one call it a barrel condom? I've never called them that. I think they sound stupid. I've never said that. I've always said barrel cover. I just think it sounds dumb. I'm sure some people call them barrel condoms still. It's just like, I don't know if I can call it a condom. Crazy. Brian says $75. That's almost enough for a Hermesis down payment. That's what I'm talking about, guys. You know, I'm not out here trying to tell you that these headbands and barrel covers are made just as good as the Hermesis stuff, because it's not. But it's also a quarter of the price, and they're certainly not bad. Paintball Ruin My Life merch. You can find that hat in there too. There's another hat in there too with just like the Paintball Ruin My Life logo on it. In France, we say barrel condom. Yeah, a lot of people probably still do. Man, I want to go to France. Where in France do you live? You need like a house guest for a week? Yeah. You probably don't say, do you actually say barrel condom or do you say like some French thing? But capote, I'm not really used to, I can't say a lot of French words. You know, I'm into cycling, like road bikes and stuff. So I watch like professional road bike cycling. So I know some like French words, but they're mostly cycling related. So it's not truly helpful. Yeah. Le barrel condom. That's funny. That's funny. You should make a bucket list of traveling to different countries and trying out different fields each time to see what the scene is like elsewhere. Dude, I'd love to do that. I'd love to try to do that. I've only played in Asia. That's the only place I've played other than America. America's the only other place. Capto? I know, capote. I want to say capote because I'm like, I'm just too used to Spanish. So everything I like, I just want to say it Spanish. And I know that's not right. Derpy Shark, I love that name. Has anyone ever tried out the Nova 3 yet? Nope, I've not. If so, what are your thoughts on it? Yeah. There's been some Nova people in here before when I've trashed the Nova. Some people came out of the woodwork and were like, the Nova's the best paintball gun ever made. Which is crazy. You know, I've not used a Nova ever. But I think it's very weird. I think it's very odd to like re-release a paintball gun that's 25 years old that wasn't even popular 25 years ago. So it's very weird. I feel like someone bought the rights to that and they're getting it made in China or somewhere really, really cheap. And they're just trying to sell it. I don't really understand. It's very odd. Should you join a team or make one? God, I don't know. I would join one. Screw making a team. You gotta like manage all this stuff. You gotta like decide who's on the team. You gotta like get everyone ready for practices and like you gotta figure out how to get people places. It's like if you make the team, you become like in charge, and I would want to do that. Chris, I remember seeing Greenspan or Ollie hold a clinic somewhere in Indonesia, and the scenery looks amazing. Indonesia is beautiful. I've been to Indonesia one time. Yeah, they used to have, actually, Indonesia used to have the Asia Paintball World Cup. It was very near the border of Thailand and Malaysia. No, I'm thinking of Malaysia. Sorry. Anyway, we'll talk about Malaysia. They used to have the Asia World Cup there in Malaysia, right across the border from Thailand, on an island called Langkawi. And yeah. But Southeast Asia is beautiful. I mean, it's, you know, tropical, so you've got like lush vegetation and beautiful beaches and all kinds of stuff. And it's pretty cheap. Ben, what'd you say? Every time I see the Paintball Ruin My Life profile picture, it makes me think that the radio host Chuck the Freak, I don't even know who that is. Who is Chuck the Freak? Yeah, okay, maybe. Although all these pictures I've seen of him, he doesn't have he has like a wacky beard. That's funny. 97.1. The Freak. I don't know. Should I buy a new high-end marker now or wait until new ones are released? It probably matters what you want. I mean, it probably matters what you want. I think that you're gonna probably see a new Lux and a Shocker in about 2 months. I think if you want a Lux, I would probably wait. I think if you want a Planet Eclipse gun, I'd just buy one. Because I don't think you're not gonna see like an LV3 or like a CS4 or anything like that. Yeah. I'm not 100% sure if we'll see a dye gun either. I don't know if we're gonna see an M4 from dye. I'm not 100% sure. But I do think that we'll see new Luxes and Shockers pretty soon. So that's something. New Lux in Orlando, says Kevran. Kevran? Has anyone ever tried a small paint company in the US in the last 10 to 15 years besides Gap, APX, or Rage? I've never even heard of Rage. I saw someone ask on a forum, and I'm trying to think of anyone else. You know, I don't know. I'm not even sure. Is the APX stuff made in California still? Help me out. People in the chat room. APX recently... Did APX sell the Valken? And I don't know if... Yeah, right? Didn't APX... Yeah, APX is owned by Valken, and I'm not 100% sure if they're still made here. Honestly, don't know. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. Although I really like Valken's paint. I mean, a lot of the Valken paint is made in Taiwan. And I really like it. I mean, all the high-end stuff from them, like New World or like that Graffiti or Redemption. Like 99% sure it's all made. There we go. Valken calls the plant Victory Gel Caps. That's right. They make some Valken stuff plus maybe another label still made in the USA. Cool. I know it's in Southern California. I was just curious if they moved the machines to Mexico. Because at one point they did. Right? I don't know. Didn't they just put a video? I swear to God, they just put a video out of, right? Maybe not, I don't know. You know, searching for stuff on the internet has gotten so hard. You know, you can't really, so much stuff happens on like Instagram and Facebook now. It's really difficult to like actually find the like stuff because it's so hard to look for like, you can't really search Instagram. What's your favorite mask? Well, I've always liked stuff that's super breathable. They're made in Anaheim. Valken calls the Plant Victory. So you said Anaheim. I read that as they're made in America, but they're still made in Anaheim. HK Army switched from buying APX paint to using Supercap's plant in Tijuana. APX Victory machines never moved. Maybe that's what I was thinking about. Dude, I don't know. Anyway. Too confusing, and everyone, like, all these companies are named the same thing. It's like gel caps and pro caps, and now we have Victory gel caps. It's like, I don't know. Paintballs. What was I talking about? My favorite mask. Well, my favorite mask has always been the one that's the most breathable. So for, I mean, almost forever, I wore the JT ProFlex. And then the Empire E-Flex came out like 12 or 15 years ago. Started wearing that for a handful of years. And the most recent thing I use is, I would say, that. It's going to be a bunch of glare. The Carbon Zero Pro with a camera mount on top. I really like these. I really like this mainly because it's so lightweight. They're flexible, kind of like those JT masks or that E-Flex. And I think they're just as breathable. And I really like these. I think they're really comfortable. Taking that lens in and out is extremely easy. So I like them a lot. But I just want stuff that's going to be breathable. That's my like one stipulation for all paintball masks. Breathability. And comfort, I guess, a little bit. But comfort is kind of the breathability as well. Because most of these masks, if they breathe well, the ventilation's good. It kind of translates into being comfortable, we'll say. Do I have any other, like, things I can talk about on here? One thing we're going to do is if you guys ever are in the Sacramento area, you know, that's where I live, and you want to go to the best paintball store you can find, I go to Sec Paintball. Sec Paintball constantly helps me get equipment. You know, most of the time when you see me do like, gotta go over here. Most of the time when you see me do like unboxing videos on here, or maybe I'm showing off new colors on something. Like last weekend we had, last week I had the Mini GS Hive mask. You can find lots of good paintball stuff here. I mean, I don't know how old this picture is. It's fairly new. We've got a lot of Luxes on the wall, a bunch of Forces right there. It's like some LV2s. Those look like CS1s, but there's no way. That's probably a GO4. All kinds of stuff. I used to work here. I worked here for like a week. Or if you're not in the area, you can go to bfpgear.com. That's their website. Same exact people, the same people that own Sack Paintball and Extreme Paintball in Modesto own BFP gear. BFPgear.com. I just want to, like, I don't know, shout it out and kind of like thank them for lots of stuff. I mean, you know, they've sponsored videos. They've been one of the rare sponsors on this channel. So shout out to them. And also just letting me borrow stuff, you know. It's pretty nice of them. Little J, LJ, Little John Andrew. I got a new regulator today because my last one wasn't adjustable, okay? The fill port is right on my wrist. It only has one set of set screws in the bonnet, okay? Is it okay to back the bonnet off 1/8 of a turn and tighten the set screws, or will it leak? I would not do that. All I would do is back the entire tank off. So if you, there's two types of adjustable too. You should say, like, because when I think about adjustable, I think adjustable regulator, and I think if you can adjust the pressure. So like, you have an adjustable, you want a regulator with an adjustable bonnet, I think. You said, I got a new regulator today because my last one wasn't out. The fill port is right on my wrist. Okay. So your new regulator is also not bonnet adjustable. So I don't really do that either, right? Like I have, actually, we'll grab a gun. I hope I don't have any air in this though. And we do. That's not gonna work. All my guns don't work. Okay, let's just do this. So my paintball gun, right? So instead of me screwing, let's see if I can like pop down this. I tell this to a lot of people, and it's one of the reasons. Yeah, this isn't working. Oh gosh. Bear with me. That'll work. Yeah, so like say you're screwing your tank in, right? And it, you know, stops like that, right? Where, you know, that fill nipple is going right out the side, and it's not the best placement, you know, because it's hitting in your wrist like you said. So rather than back that off, if you do not have an adjustable one, because if you unscrew the bonnet like a half turn and then tighten those screws, it's not going to be pressed together right? You're going to have too much movement in there. So you might get all kinds of weird pressure problems. So what I would do is literally just back the tank off to like right there, right? Like that's how I want mine, with the fill nipple kind of poking up like that, and just use it like that. Hopefully I don't shoot the wall. Shit. We're good. Yeah, and the gun works perfectly fine still, you know. Really, really loud. So most of the time you don't actually have to have that tank all the way screwed in. You can just kind of like back it off a little bit. It's possible it won't work though, because, you know, you got to think that the way air comes out of here is this pin gets pressed down. And if you have the tank backed off too much, it's possible that the pin will not depress all the way and you'll not be allowing enough air to come out. So I would back it off half a turn, roughly. I wouldn't probably go more than that. And then just see if the gun works, you know, just go try shooting it. But I would not adjust, like, don't like pull the bonnet this way, in other words, if you have a non-adjustable bottle screwed tank. Yep. Yeah, because like I use so many paintball guns, right? I use so many different paintball guns that I don't really keep my tank adjusted like that either, you know, because I'll use, you know, an EMAC and then switch over to another gun, and all I do is back it off like that and put the air on. Yep. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Jingo. That's what I would do. Unscrewing the bonnet will effectively raise the output pressure of your regulator, possibly popping the 1.8. Will it raise the pressure? Does it really raise the pressure? I would assume it would lower the pressure because you're lowering. Yeah, it would lower it, right? I don't know. Either way, it's probably not going to work right. There's also a good one. Jacob said you could try that. That's a good tip. I'm looking around for an O-ring. Yeah, one thing you can do too, you can put, a lot of people will do that, you can put a tank O-ring right in your ASA, like straight down in there. That'll make a little bit of a gap, and then you can put your tank on, but it'll like stop on that O-ring. Then you can kind of adjust it, but you might have that same problem with it not screwing in all the way, so you definitely have to try it. Yeah. Try putting a tank O-ring. Jacob said that, yes. I just read that one. When playing the Dorito side, should I dive or hip slide? It probably matters. Jacob, absolutely raises the pressure. It loosens the shim stack, forcing, therefore, the force of the reg seat. I would just think that like loosening the spring, right? Doesn't it create, it would create less tension. Then why increasing the spring tension does it increase the pressure? Because when you add more shims, it makes it like, you know, tighter in there. And you take shims out and it reduces spring tension. I honestly have no idea. I've never really like thought about this. I don't know. Either way, it's not going to work right. That's for sure. Breezy, I was booted off the app. That's no good. Did my super chat go through? Nope. I'd have noticed. Nope. I appreciate it though, you know, it's thoughtful, you know, thought counts. Money's good too, you know. Paintball God. That is not a very Paintball God question. When playing the Dorito side, should I dive or hip slide? That's an answer Paintball God should know. It probably depends, right? I mean, it really just depends. I think it depends on what angle you're running at the thing, right? I mean, if you're going straight at it, probably dive, you know, but if you're going like, you know, at a side angle, you know, you're running across the field, or if you're like running at a weird angle, it just all depends. There really is no right answer for it. Yeah. Jacob, think about if you adjust the velocity, screw the screw in, shim stack pressure goes up, velocity goes down. What depends on the paintball gun though. Think about adjustable velocity. Think about how you adjust your velocity. But like on a tank reg, if you adjust the output pressure on the tank reg, there's no screw. You're not really screwing anything, but you're adding pressure. So you screw the screw in, the shim stack pressure goes up. Yeah, but on a tank reg, like say the Ninja regs, right? If you add shims to the tank reg, the pressure goes up, right? I'm like 99.99% sure on that. And then I'd think that, you know, when you add the shims, doesn't like the shim stack pressure go up and the velocity goes up, right? I mean, it's going to probably depend on like how regulators work. I'm also not the best at talking about this. I'm not like the preeminent expert on how this stuff actually all works. I don't know. Autumn, I don't know what the hell I'm thinking there. I'm finally getting my own gear and originally was going to go for the Axe 2.0, but have recently gotten some advice to stay away from Empire and have been told the Ether 3. What do you think? I like the Axe. I think the Axe is great, but I'd probably choose the Ether 3. I think the Ether 3 ergonomically is certainly better. And they're going to be more reliable. Your warranty is also going to be better. So I would probably do that. Someone said something about the angel eyes. Yeah, I remember freaking angel eyes. Some people probably might not remember Angel Eyes. Let's see if we can... Oh my god. I cannot type on this freaking keyboard. It's the stupidest mask ever. I hated this thing forever. So this is a mask that actually never came out. These pictures right here are actually renderings. The only person ever to play in one, I think, was this person, and he got in trouble. This was the time when I actually worked for Angel, and I thought this was the stupidest looking mask, like, ever. People thought it was cool because it was like a big lens, but it's like the dumbest looking thing ever. Like, look at how stupid that looks. It's the dumbest thing ever. It's super wide. I mean, when you put it on, like, look at that. There's John Dresser of Paintball Nation fame. He's actually, like, put it on and stuff. Like, look at how big and wide it is. It's insane. I mean, the real problem they had with the Angel Eyes, though, I think was, like, the lens. They couldn't... The lens would never pass the testing and stuff. I think the main problem, honestly, was that Angel was making it. And at the time, Angel was kind of, like, done. I mean, Angel were... still making paintball guns. They were making those Angel A1s right there. But that was the last gun they really made. I mean, they had the SB. But Angel was kind of, I feel like, on the way out. So I feel like they didn't... The main reason that this mask never came to be was really just because I think Angel did it. It was really weird too. I just remember it like doesn't have like a bridge for the nose, so like it was weird. I don't know. It was a very odd mask. How much diarrhea is too much diarrhea? Any amount of diarrhea is probably too much. Probably not too much. It's probably not fun. I don't know if it's, you know, too much. How big of a JT fan are you? I like the masks. I don't like anything else they make. That's about all. I've been wanting to get my brother to get a mini GS for his birthday, but I want to save as much money as I can. What's the cheapest website to get one? They're all the same. I mean, they're literally all $400. It doesn't matter where you go. Well, that's true. I mean, you might be able to find some refurbished ones. I am unaware of any refurbished mini GSs, but they're pretty much going to be $400 wherever you look. That's how all the paintball stuff is. We can't price stuff however we want. We're kind of like dictated by the manufacturers how much you can sell stuff for. It's just like, you know, phones or whatever. You know, you pretty much can't. You buy an iPhone is going to be the same price everywhere. You're not going to find a store that's like $200 cheaper for a brand new iPhone. It's kind of like that, I guess. Yeah. Is the Angel mask... Is the Angel Eye mask is collector? I don't know what that means. Can you collect it? I don't even... They didn't really make any. I think they made like 5 or 6 or something like that. So they never really made a bunch of them. They never sold them. They never gave them away. Yeah, they're very, very rare. As Rick said, I think it's best to forget the Angel Eyes. I'm with you on that. It's crazy how, like, everyone talks about them, though. It's like the dumbest looking mask ever, but it still comes up. I mean, people are still like, Angel Eyes. Lone Wolf is having a really good sale this time of year. Yeah, they very well might. You're probably not going to be able to find a mini GS on sale. If you find a mini GS on sale at Lone Wolf, it's going to be on sale everywhere, so it's not... Because those sales will be dictated to us by Empire. They're like, okay, Memorial Weekend, you can put this on sale, and this on sale, and this on sale. It's like, all right. It's good and a bad thing. I can have a brand new Angel Eyes for 250 euros. Well, you should buy it. I mean, there's literally none. I mean, you could probably sell it for $5 grand or something. I mean, they're literally not. They like don't exist. So I don't know. Does anyone know a guy named Will Ball for Soup? I don't know him. He's a fellow on the internet. Just like I am. I'm just a fellow on the internet. Yeah, I don't know. I know that he's made a bunch of videos where he tries to like hype stuff up or like just kind of lie about things to get views, which don't make sense to me because this is paintball. You're not going to really get a lot of clickbait views. You know, if this was like some other big industry and you could like trick people into watching stuff, maybe, you know, but you're not going to get a lot of like views by lying about stuff. It's just paintball, you know? It's just never going to happen. One came up recently. I believe someone offered $2,500 for it, for an Angel Eyes. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think that there's probably two things, right? I don't think that Angel made that many. I think that actual Angel did not make a lot. But then they also, then Tiberius Arms or First Strike Paintball, they're the same company. They ended up making, they ended up buying the mask or the rights, the design or something like that. And then they were going to go forward with it. And I believe they had some made. So there were a few Tiberius versions out there, which are exactly the same thing. But they were still really rare because they never sold it, you know. So it's not like they made thousands of them. They probably made a handful. So either way, if it's an Angel one or the Tiberius ones, they're going to be rare. What is the worst paintball injury I've ever had? Not really anything. I mean, I tore a ligament or like something messed up my foot with some ligament injury. I tore my hamstring or my groin muscle, like tore it. It was bleeding into my leg. It was pretty bad. I got shot in the nuts once. Yeah, that's about all. I've never like dislocated anything or broken anything. I mean, a lot of people have like had like shoulder problem, like dislocated shoulders and stuff, but thankfully I don't ever dive, so it's not something that I have a problem with. Thank God. Corey Wilson says, I took one in the eye 3 weeks ago while watching next to the net. So did it go through the net? Yeah, that's why they always say don't stand to the net too. They always want people standing like 5 feet back from the net. So yeah, if you're standing like this on the net, it's probably not good. I always push the net forward. I'm like looking on the field and I'll push the net away. But that's mainly to get like a better angle. What? A drippiest headband? I don't know. We can go. Let's do this. We can go to the Paintball Ruined My Life store and we can. Let's find the drippiest headband. I hate that word. Drip. It's so stupid. It's the dumbest thing ever. We always have like new lingo that like comes out every like handful of years. The Paintball Ruin My Life merch store. Headbands. Let's see. Which one do I actually like the most? Probably the drinks one. I actually like these red, white, and blue ones a lot too. So one of these two, and I don't like the way these thumbnails work. And freaking. Yep, one of those two. Get the drinks one. The drinks one's really cool. The drippiest headband known to man. Breezy! I almost got the light. With that super chat. So. The release of the Project LV2 was poorly timed given how superior the milling of the HK Army Fossil LV2. Super chat for Paintball Army Travel Fund. I appreciate it. It's gonna go to like the pay rent fund though. Yeah, probably, right? I also think it's a weird time at the end of the year. I think that the better time to probably release stuff is like the end of the year or the beginning of the year. I think that most of these guns, like, they'd probably do better with them if they sold them in like March or April or something, you know, right when people are going to start playing for the summer, right when people get excited to go play paintball for the summer. Rather than release them at the very end of the year is a little odd. Or like right in the middle or right when people are not playing as much. I think probably was not that good. Super chats, I friggin' love them. Thank you guys so very much. Oh yeah, Riley says. Oh yeah. Dude, the Dizon one from HK Army is super cool. The Dizon headbands? You know, I really like that. I really like how they're doing that with some of the guys. I think it's cool how Ronnie Dizon and Chad Boucher have like their own line with HK Army. It's something that I've talked about for a long time. I mean, I think that like it would make a lot of sense for some of these manufacturers to personally sponsor some of these players, because I think they can provide almost what the team can. You know, I think that there's some of these players, you know, on a lot of the teams, whether it's Houston Heat, like those two guys, or, you know, Dynasty or whatever. There are some players that just don't do that good a job on the internet. And it's really the best way for a lot of these manufacturers to get advertising. So I think that it's a good idea for them to do that with those guys and get them their own like exclusive like headbands and like shirts and stuff like that. I think it's cool. I really like it. I'm not 100% familiar with what they all look like because I don't really look, you know. But I think it's cool. Billy Paul's, is that the crazy expensive headbands? I don't think that the HK ones are. They might be a little bit more because a lot of that money or some of that money is going to go directly to the player rather than, you know, just HK. But I'm not even sure how much they're selling those things for. Do you think paintball is a growing sport? I don't know. That's like been a question for the last 30 years, though. I would say so. Yeah, why not? I mean, it's definitely... People say it's dying all the time, but then we have more tournament players than ever and like all this stuff, so I don't think so. It's not dying or growing. I think we're probably like stagnant-y? I don't know. Which is good, really. I mean, we could be declining. Ben Lawton, nothing personal against Chad's line, but using the DBZ with cheetah print is a bit cringe in my opinion. Seems a bit dated. Cheetah print is kind of his thing though. He's always had like that cheetah print. So whether it was 15 years ago or whatever, Chad, that's kind of been his like thing. I don't know the DBZ, like Dragon Ball Z? I didn't see that. Let's see. I gotta like, oh, whoa, those are expensive. Holy shit. Never mind. They're way expensive. I was like, I don't know. Are they expensive? But they expensive, guys. And I'll just kindly remind everybody that my Paintball Ruin My Life headbands are 30 bucks. 30 bucks. Versus the, you know, $120 these are. Fucking Jesus. I don't understand. I really don't get it. That is too much money. And look, it's on sale from 150. What a deal. It's just way too much money. Way too much money. Speaking of money, Johnny RC is just wasting money. I appreciate it. Another 19.99 super chat is so helpful. I have no way of handling guns before I buy them. That's a problem. Do you think Rory at Anus Gear would be mad if I bought a CS3 and an LV2 and returned the one I didn't want? Do they even let you do that? What's their return policy? I mean, they'll be frustrated, yeah, because it costs them money. You know, they have to like ship everything. You know, they gotta pick and pull it from like the wall, and they gotta make sure the guns work and like all that stuff. You know, I don't know. What even is their return policy? Let's find out. Here we are. ansgear.com. Oh. In the unfortunate event that you need a blah 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 blah. All airsoft guns being returned or exchanged in resell must be in resellable condition. You probably have to pay. But you know what I would do? What a better solution to that is probably is just go to the paintball field and try to actually use the stuff there. Or not use the stuff there. Try to like borrow stuff or try to like ask someone if you can hold their gun. That's what I would do. I mean, I hear you though. I mean, I don't know. I'm probably not the guy that's going to tell you to buy a bunch of stuff and return it. So just because it's annoying. But it's crazy how expensive these headbands are. I was kind of blown away. I was like, okay, you know, they're going to be like, you know, just a little bit more expensive. They're like, I thought they were going to be like $50 or like 45 or something like that. But 120 is just mind blowing. I don't understand. I mean, why is this one 29? 25? So this is not a cotton one though. This is just sublimated. So it's cheaper for them to make. I just didn't think they were that expensive. I mean, these are fine. You know, 25 bucks is good. But like 120 is wild. HK headbands. Anyway. That seems like a little bit of money. The King's Creation and Matman Band. I don't even know what that is, dude. There are too many goddamn headband companies. Like, it's literally everyone's like jam now to make headband companies. But no, if you buy one of my headbands at the Paintball Room Ally store from that link right there, you know, it's going to help support this channel. You know. I'm not trying to make a merch company. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. They will probably let you return it for store credit minus 10% restocking fee. I don't even think they didn't even, glancing at that really fast, it didn't even look like they were charging restocking fees. You probably get a return, but you're probably going to have to pay the return shipping, I imagine. That's the crazy expensive handband I was talking about earlier. Crazy. Like, it's really clean, I like it, but what's with that price? Yeah, I don't know. I don't mind the way it looks. Yeah, they look good. It is expensive, and it's expensive probably for a few reasons. One of the things it's going to make... Am I going to, like, eat my words? I was going to say one of the things it's going to make... I was going to say one of the things that's going to make these headbands... I keep forgetting I'm on the other monitor. One of the things that's going to make these headbands expensive is the embroidery as well. But I was going to say that, but then these are cheap, so these ones are 30 bucks normally. Come on, go forward. Headbands. I really like the balaclava. I actually really like these head wraps because they're a lot shorter than the other ones. Yeah, one thing that's expensive is it's just going to cost money to do these headbands because of that embroidery too. So you can see that top is all embroidered, and then that like Ronnie, like skull logo deal is embroidered. They do come with that little headband pouch, which is kind of unique, I guess. It's just real expensive. But if you want to support the Ronnie Dizen, that's probably one of the ways. Even seeing Greenspan Spica in person, I still wasn't willing to walk away with a Hormesis Tigerwear headband for those prices. Yeah, I don't know why everything's so expensive. I mean, I know why. Because they're trying to trick us into thinking it's like exclusive. It's like, you have to be such a jackass to like buy any of that. Not that stuff, but like any of this stuff. This is a perfect example. Jesus, man. I'm all over the place. Browser. It's like this. I mean, you gotta be a lunatic to buy this stuff. And I feel like one of the main reasons that you can, you know, buy this $600 Gucci sweatshirt, or shirt, is because it makes people feel cool, right? I mean, it makes you feel rich, especially in America. I mean, we're all obsessed with like being rich and making money. And buying clothing like this or things that are expensive is a way to show off you're rich. Sorta. I mean, it's a way to like pretend like you're rich. And I think that one of the main reasons that like high-priced items are desirable for people is it makes it feel exclusive, and makes you feel maybe like you're better than people. Honestly, it's what all this high-end clothing is all about, and it's crazy to me. I mean, Louis Vuitton's like one of the 5th biggest companies in the world, and they're all about, you know, high-end exclusive limited products. So I don't know. I'm not down. Any advice for cleaning and maintenance? I roll with a Stormer Elite. I like these Stormer Elite. Do I need any fancy lubes, or can I just drip some baby oil in the bad boy and call it a day? Kinda. I probably wouldn't use baby oil. Those tip mints should come with that little packet of grease, that little packet of oil. If you have that little packet of oil, you can just put a few drops where you put the tank on, screw the tank on, and shoot it. And that's literally all the like maintenance you need to do. I wouldn't use baby oil. I would look for paintball gun oil. Just buy... I don't have one, but the Planet Eclipse oil is perfectly fine. It's like $10 or $8, and it's like an ounce and maybe like half an ounce, and it'll last you forever. From ANS gear to Gucci. Well, we were talking about $200 headbands. I mean, let's go. Let's get a GoFundMe together so Brad can go ball in some Gucci gear. Nope, not happening. I just think it looks like you look like an idiot. Like people that wear like Gucci stuff or like have like Louis Vuitton bags and stuff like that. It literally, all I see is like someone that is like pretending or like wants to be rich or wants people to think that they're rich. Because most rich people don't walk around with big Gucci logos on their shirts, you know? Like you go somewhere where there's like rich people and like there's not a lot of like that stuff going on because they kind of realize that it's stupid. Yep. I think that's one of the reasons like, you know, all this high-end clothing stuff has even become more and more popular in the last handful of years, you know, because we're trying to be like cooler and cooler and cooler. How can I be cooler than the next guy? Anyway. You know how you could be cooler? You can buy a Paintball Ruined My Life headband. Anyway, enough complaining about... Well, I'm not really complaining. Yep. Well, I don't know. What's a setup that I can get as a beginner for $2,000? Well, let's see. Let's see, what can you get for $2,000? I'll betcha they got like, I bet they got like a good pair of pants. Where's like it's ready to wear? Let's find pants and shorts. Kind of like those. Those aren't bad. See, like this stuff that has like, you're like, it's like, oh, it's not, you know, Gucci, but it's got like specific pinstriping, so you know that it's Gucci. There you go, right there. $2,100 for some cargo pants. And you guys quit complaining about how expensive paintball is for a little bit. $2,000 for a beginner setup. I mean, I kind of think that like, I know, obviously paintball. Well, normally when I think setup, I'm gonna go with gun, tank, mask, hopper. Gun, tank, mask, hopper. You could even throw like a pack in there, but that's like an extra $100. For $2,000. I'm probably gonna go say Planet Eclipse 180R, a Spire 4, Spire 5, and then like a Ninja tank. I'd go Ninja or Infamous. Ninja, Infamous, or HK. Gun, hopper, tank. Yep, 180R is 11. You get a Spire 4. It's going to be about 13, and then you got like $200 for a tank. Yeah, I mean, you got like $1,600. 180R. That's probably what I'd do. Or I mean, I guess you can't get a high-end gun. I mean, you could get like a CS2 even if you really wanted to, but 180R is my advice. That's what I'd do. But earlier I was telling people that are with beginner stuff to only ever buy mechanical guns if you're a beginner, so we're all over the place. I didn't drink this at all. All right, guys. Chat's dying. I don't really have anything else to talk about. Unless you have some, like, cool questions for me or something. What's the most expensive hopper? Spire 5, right? $250? Yep. Hopper, we were just looking at... You know, like, people, here we are complaining about hoppers already. Like, what's the most expensive hopper? $250. Like, it better have gold on it. These pants are $2,100. Gotta be kidding me. Your headbands are 43.5 inches long. I think so. Why is that like an exclamation? I don't know, let's find out. I have this tape measure that's probably as old as I am. It has Johnson written on it. My dad wrote that, I'm guessing, sometime in like the 90s. It's pretty cool. I mean, 43 is the right length. These headbands are pretty much the exact same dimensions as 43 and a half. As all of the Sandana stuff. So I had an original Sandana and just disassembled it, and there we go. I don't think I have any other headbands around here. I think they're all Paintball Ruin My Life ones. Oh no, yeah, here we go. I was like, let's measure some other stuff. So this is an HK Army headband I got made at one point. It's really crusty. This one's maybe a little shorter. 42 inches. Here's a Sandana brand. Yep, this one's longer. As expected. $43.50. Here's a... Some people might like this. That's an Abyss headband, if anyone knows what Abyss even is. Probably not. What's this one? This is also 43. This is a headband I made a long time ago. Speaking about high-end stuff. Stupid. Does that say Arby's? Nope. That says Abyss. Any new headbands? Not for me, unfortunately. I made way too many this last run, and I'm trying to get rid of them. We're almost there. The faster people buy... A light turn off or something? Was it this light that turned off? Did I even turn this light on ever? Why does it not have power? It doesn't have power because it's not plugged in. Not that it matters that much. Yeah, I brought way too many headbands. The faster people buy them right there, though. Get new ones. Super chats are awesome, Johnny. Thank you. That was a long time ago. Have you ever played in New York? I have never played in New York. I had to think about it really fast. Been there. I never played paintball, fortunately. So you're only 43 inches tall. Well, I'm almost twice as tall as a headband. See, if I put it at my waist, it's like... Yeah, twice that. But 1 and 5/8. Something like that. Alright, you sons of bitches. There are some paintball videos coming out. I'm gonna make this week, or no, next week. We're gonna make... Oh, I thought it was like Monday or something. It's weird. I got a bunch of like 3D printed. I got a bunch of like 3D printed stuff. Let me see if I can if this works. I got like a lot of 3D printed paintball stuff. And we're gonna make a video on a lot of 3D printed stuff coming here fairly pretty soon. Johnny! Sorry. Yes, I was born premature. Okay, sorry. I wasn't like trying to make fun of you or anything. Kind of hard to tell in this chat, you know. I don't know what the fuck's going on. People are just saying all kinds of crazy shit, you know. I don't ever know. Yep. I don't know. See, this Sandana, I don't know if this is old. Like this. I'm not sure how old this actual Sandana is. I know there's a way to like tell. I mean, you can look at like those labels, I guess, somehow, and you're able to like tell if it's old or new or something like that. God, the depth of field is so shallow. It like won't focus. Sandana, I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure if there's a way to tell how old these are. This isn't really old though. I mean, I bought this at the paintball store in probably like 2004 or 5 or something like that. So this was like a recreation. I'm just kidding. See, that's the problem. I don't know. How the hell do I tell? I mean, if I was looking at you, I'd be like, oh, yep. But I can't see you. And sarcasm doesn't work that good with text. All right, guys. I'm gonna go. I'm eating by myself tonight. I think I'm gonna go. I'm not making anything. That's for goddamn sure. I'm either gonna get pho or Mexican food. That headband is older than kids in this chat. That's for sure. For sure. So is that sign. That's even older. Look at that no smoking sign. I don't know if anyone... Oh man, I knocked the thing off. I don't know if anyone's ever really seen that. Anyone ever paid attention to this. But no smoking. You see the paintball guy? That says 1991 on it. It's the copyright. I don't know if it's like... I don't know if that's when they made it. I think that sign's cool. Pretty neat. California burrito. You know, I don't know if I'm a big fan of the California burrito. I mean, I like the California burrito, but I don't know. I really like me a breakfast burrito. The best burrito, yep, is going to have French fries or potatoes. You know, I prefer French fries. We're putting those French fries in them in here. French fries, eggs, cheese, and bacon. Oh, it's so good. That's the best burrito. Top ramen with bacon bits. Really? Huh. I don't know if I'm getting that. That's probably not my first choice. Osborne, no smoking sections in restaurants are like having a peeing section in a pool. You deleted it. Why? Does that make sense? Like having a smoking section is like having how it all bleeds over. I smoked a cigarette in a restaurant once. Probably like 2001. 2002? It was in Oregon. No, maybe it was in Washington. Everybody pees in the pool though, so it's like, you know, if you're not peeing in the pool, you know what I thought was funny? Like if you're actually in the pool, like you're in the water, you're like just hanging out in the pool and you pee, you know, it's not a big deal. I mean, you know, some people might not like it. You might not want to tell everyone, but you know, a lot of people pee in the pool. It's not like, you know. But if you're outside the pool and like peeing into the pool, that's definitely not good. It's definitely not good. You cannot pee into the pool. You can only pee while you're in the pool. Everyone pees in the pool. Yep, I peed in the pool on Tuesday. Was a waiter in high school, came home smelling like smoke every night. Ew, that kind of sucks. That's not the funnest. It's like casinos. It's like, I haven't been to a casino in a long time, but they like all smoke inside in casinos and stuff. But at least casinos have like crazy air ventilation. You know, you can like feel a breeze almost in those places. Yeah, that would suck to work at a restaurant where people smoked. It would never be fun. I still remember when we smoked in the restaurant. I was like, wow, this is crazy. Because I mean, I don't smoke. But it was crazy to be able to smoke inside, too. Because being from California, I mean, I don't really remember when we could do it. It's been banned for so long that I don't remember even it happening. So it was kind of cool. Eric, what's going on? Thoughts on the Die Rise? Just bought one and am happy. But should I have paid up for X? You know, I don't know. I think that it sucks when someone's like, I just bought it. Should I have gotten this? And I'm like, yeah, probably. I don't dislike the Rise. I think that the Rise is not a bad gun. They shoot fairly well. But I definitely think that the Axe or the Ether 3, you know, both kind of similar to that price, are certainly going to be more reliable. And I think easier to fix, and the quality is a little bit better on those, which helps contribute to that reliability. Yeah, but I don't think the Rise is bad by any means. I mean, like, there's worse guns out there. There's for sure worse guns out there, but what's worse in that price? I don't know. But that's a good thing. That just means that there's not a lot of shitty paintball guns. You don't gotta really worry about it. I'm gonna put my red protector back on there. Let's put that back. The Rise CZR. Alright, sons of bitches. We're gonna go. I don't know. I still haven't decided what I'm eating. I came from a Zodin Blitz too, so the Rise felt like the move. Yeah, the Rise, well, it's definitely better than the Blitz. Zodin guns have gotten wacky. I mean, the Zodin guns used to be halfway decent, and then, like, the quality has just gotten worse, I would say. So, like, the Chaos 3 or the Chaos Blitz 4, I don't even remember which version they're on. They're just not that good. I still like their pump guns, but they don't really make them, and they're not popular. I don't know. I have a Rise CZR, Osborne says, but moved to an Ether 3 after your recommendation. Do you like it more? Filet mignon, Angel or Intimidators? Intimidators, for sure. You know, I've had almost every Angel there's ever been. Pretty much. And I'm choosing Intimidators. Just because they're easier. They're just simpler. I mean, the problem with Angels always was they were, like, just hard to fix, right? I mean, you have to, like, special tools and, like, gauges and all this crap. And Intimidators, you need Allen wrenches. It's pretty simple. Best startup marker for a kid, size and weight matter. Well, I think that, like we said earlier, I keep saying this, I feel like, mechanical guns I think are the best. So getting something mechanical, especially if it's a kid, I think something mechanical is probably best. And starter paintball guns that I would recommend are going to be the EMEC or Tipmans. The EMEC's going to be $300, and those Tipmans you can get for like $150, so they're definitely higher in price. The Tipmans are a little bit simpler, but they're quite a bit larger, so they're definitely just bigger and heavier, where the EMEC is way smaller. You know, the EMEC's paintball gun size, so it's not really a big deal. The EMEC's about as small and lightweight as you can get, and they're very good. So, I think EMEC. That's what I would do, and that's I mean, 99% of people are probably going to say get an EMEC. One of the things I like about these two is that some of the Tipmans or Zodin style guns, maybe that HK Army Saber, they're inexpensive and maybe they work and they're fairly reliable. They're very loud and they kick a lot. So one thing we also find is that when kids are using this EMEC, it's considerably quieter and has less kick. So it's a little less scary and like intimidating to people. EMEC. That's my answer. Why not the Ether 3M over the EMEC? It's got all the upgrades stock. Mainly price. Mainly price. I think that if you're like me, right, if you've been playing a long time and you want a mechanical gun, I'd for sure get the Ether 3M over the just E-Tech or EMEC, I'm sorry, because it has all that stuff, right? It has an adjustable trigger, it's got on-off, the barrel's better, a lot of things are better, but then it like bumps it into another price category and gets a little weird. And I think that most people that are starters want something cheaper. So, you know, the EMEC is just cheaper. All these questions are so hard though, because then it just matters the person, right? Because then I'm like, well, the EMEC barrel's pretty terrible. So then you got to buy a barrel probably for it, and then that's another $50, and you could just spend another $50 and then buy the 3M. There's all these like caveats to this, so it's hard to just, you know, buy this one. It's kind of all preference, but it's true. The Ether 3M or EMEC, one of those. EMEC, I have more markers than I can count, and I still want an EMEC. You'd probably want an Ether 3M too, though, because it's got, like, you know, the upgrades from it. the upgrades for the whatever the hell I'm saying, EMEC. All right, I'm going. You guys want to come back Thursday, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time? We're gonna do it again. So get all your questions ready. I don't know. I don't like standing like this. That seemed kind of like weird. Get all your questions ready. And be ready for next Thursday. 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I don't know what the hell's going on. I don't know if there'll be more news to talk about or something. Maybe I'll try to get a guest. I don't know. We'll see. Briefs for sure. Boxers are terrible. You gotta wear briefs. Briefs secure in place. You know, I can like move around and I don't have my junk flapping all over the place. I don't know how. Like, I used to wear boxers and I don't get it. Like, it's just not nearly as comfortable. Briefs are so much better. You don't have to worry about like your nuts getting smashed in between your legs or like weird shit happening, you know? Like, briefs are so much better. And I would recommend buying 100 pairs of briefs. That's what I did. I bought 100 and something pairs. I found a pair I like and I went ham. I didn't fart this one, neither did I. We'll try. Can we talk about the World Championships, the men's finals? I did earlier. We watched the video and everything. Although I didn't watch the whole thing, it's kind of like boring to like... Do I have it up here still? Yeah, I still got it up here even. It's kind of boring to just like watch this and talk all at the same time, so I didn't really, but we talked about it for a little bit. Okay, I'm really leaving now. Guys, enjoy the rest of your night and be safe. Don't like... I was gonna say don't jaywalk, but why not? I do it all the time. Don't like run any red lights or anything. That's bad. Briefs are required more and more as you get older. They just make more sense. Really, I think that briefs started when like skinny jeans got popular, because probably like 2006 or 7 or 8, around there, we started wearing like skinny jeans and like girls jeans and stuff when I was like way into stuff like that. And you can't really wear skinny jeans with boxers. It doesn't really work as well. So briefs and skinny jeans or like small pants, you know, work so much better. Skinny jeans aren't cool either, so don't wear them anymore. You gotta wear Jinkos or like get yourself some Ben Davis pants. Maybe some Dickies. All right, guys.